Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
How is everyone doing?
Right. Good.
Doing good. How are you?
Wonderful. So we're gonna give other people a couple of minutes. Maybe someone else is gonna join. No, they're not.
Bro. So are we actually not allowed to connect in this group?
Not really, not necessarily. No.
No, so me and Chowder, for example, are not allowed to message us on WhatsApp and stuff.
No.
No?
No.
Hi.
Besides, how would you have his WhatsApp? It means you will
Through
need
the,
to ask another man for his phone number. Sounds a
no,
little
no,
bit homosexual.
through the chat, him.
Well, if he's gonna, in the meantime where he should be learning, answer your chat and it show his stupidity. So what that means is, do you really want to have someone like this on your WhatsApp that is not able to,
Yeah.
put his focus towards one thing?
Maybe we could like train sales calls together or something.
So instead of doing real sales calls, you would prefer to train sales calls with someone who is probably either at the same level or lower than you.
Whatever, forget it. Okay, so I will not connect, bro. No
And
worries. Bro's taking it seriously.
no, is anyone here that understands why it is not beneficial for you? Anyone?
Yeah, I could get your thought process that
Please may
we
take a guess. Unless
yeah,
you
so that we
no.
don't teach ourselves teach each other's all stuff.
Yes. As a matter of
Because if
fact, yeah,
if we give each other advice and we don't know better, you know?
that is absolutely right. What the fuck happened to
Is it the same in the full program? They're also not allowed to connect?
nope?
Okay.
Especially because if like there you have even more one-to-ones, like not with one person, but with multiple, dependent on what you need to focus or get better on. So why would you even try to speak to any other members?
Yeah.
All right. So does anyone have sales calls that we can review?
I had sales calls, but it's in German.
Yeah, well, really, there are at least three people here that will not understand it. Two. So, anyone else besides Persian Harry?
Nope.
Thank you for saying no. So that's so
I
important.
actually
I guess no one's answering anything, so I might answer.
Yes, Harry, you
yeah,
wanted to say something?
I had 4 sales calls today.
And
And one of them wasn't even the decision maker, so he had to discuss it, and I told him that I will have to like I wanted to learn in the meantime stuff, but the time was so like I hadn't any time to learn from the course and Ismail and stuff, so I had to do my old script and so on. So I did a mix of them. Like I watched 1 or 2 videos from Ismail from the Notion, and I implemented the 1 or 2 stuff like negative report and stuff. But the rest was from my old script. So I
No.
made
Why the fuck do you say script? Please don't tell me you have used a sales script before.
yes,
And
I
you're
had
still
for the beginning. Yes, I had a script.
okay. Please don't tell me you're still using a sales script.
No, I'm at the moment now. I'm trying to follow the things on the Notion.
Okay. So there is no sales script in there. The only thing that you will probably use throughout the sales call, and this is only for a couple of times till you actually remember it, is discovery questions.
Yeah,
And when it comes to the document with discovery questions, you should still only you should still see this as a guideline and not like all the questions there are very relevant and very good questions. However, I don't want you guys to go through discovery questions and just literally make a checklist of it. So you're gonna ask question after question after question, because in that case the prospect is gonna immediately see that you're just reading a list of questions. What you want to do is focus yourself on the conversation, and then accordingly, based on the conversation, ask the questions that will help you to find out important information for you. And Diesel, a sales script is, Amin has, for example, probably something in the manner of literally what to say on the sales call, how to start the sales call, and probably like a couple of objections that he has faced previously, and just answers on how to handle those objections, which basically limits your brain to think about what he can answer. Yes, in the sales call, Diesel, not on the cold call, on a sales call. You know, when you're one-to-one with someone and you try to sell him something. Wonderful. Actually, as a matter of fact, take into consideration what we have just discussed, we can go to basics. I think Chowder and Miles have already seen this. If someone else has seen this, I'm more than happy to hear it from you guys if you have seen it. If yes, then I'm just gonna test your knowledge about it, and if you still remember how it works. So is there anyone here that could break down a sales call for me? And or at least say to me how many stages a sales call has.
I only know the stuff I learned previously from another and not from this course. Yeah.
How many stages does a sales call has?
So the thing I learned from
So
Jeremy Minor was
Harry,
this. Yeah.
how many stages does a sales call has? It's a very easy question, and you can
What I
only answer with numbers.
okay, I think let me count.
What did you say?
I think like about 3 or 4 maybe, because discovery, commitment, closed, objections. What?
I'm not even laughing at you. I just looked to the camera and I've seen Chowder. 1, 2. I think I have 5 fingers. So okay, Harry, your guess is 3. Okay, Chowder, your guess is unless you still need a moment to count how many fingers you have in one palm
I
of your
still
hands.
need a moment. I still
Okay,
need a moment.
Miles, do you have a guess, or do you remember? Miles, you're muted.
Yeah, 4.
Okay, so we have 3. We have someone without fingers. We have 4. Diesel, what will be your guess? Okay,
I say 6.
okay, Chicken Little.
I say 5.
So Diesel was 4. Chowder 6. Nika, do you want to take a guess? Granted, you have not seen it before, I assume, but do you still want to take a guess?
I don't know. 4?
Wonderful. So you have just repeated the number that you have seen the most or you have heard the most? This is how
No,
psychology
it's my
works.
lucky number.
Okay.
Yeah, 3, 4, I think, maybe.
But that will also be a perfect example, like unless it's actually Nika's lucky number. That will be a perfect example of why I don't want you guys to speak to each other, because it will be a repeating mechanism. So for example, in this case, Harry said 4, then Chicken Little said 4, Diesel said 4, so automatically Nika, because she has never seen it before, she will also say 4.
No, I
Unless it's
said 5
actually-
actually.
You said 4 or 5, but absolutely fine. The only person that guessed it correctly is Chowder. So it took him a moment to count how many fingers he has, but it was
So is
actually
it
correct.
is it like the beginning where you set the frame?
Yeah,
Then it's the discovery.
yeah.
Then it's the pre-handling of the objections. Then it's the presentation. And I think then you handle the last objections and then you ask for a cell or something. Is that right?
I like how you had 5 when you were saying that. So you were missing one step.
No. So it's the beginning where you set the frame. Then it's the
Yeah.
discovery.
Mhm.
Then there is the presentation. No, there's the pre-handling objection. That's 3. 4 is the presentation. 5 is the handing of the last objections, and 6 is the presentation of the price and the asking for the sale.
You had only, when it comes to order, you had only 2 things right. But then instead of I'm just gonna show you guys, because the last thing I want to do is trust Chowder. So when it comes to sales call, you have 5 main steps. You can say it's 6. That's why I said that Chowder may be right, due to the fact that pre-handling objection is also one of the important parts. However, it is technically speaking a part of the discovery part. So when it comes to a sales call breakdown, it's obviously the pre-frame. Does anyone know what the pre-frame is? No. Miles has 0 emotions on his face, so I'm not sure. Chowder, what is a pre-frame?
So you set the expectations for the call, basically, and just like maybe a little bit of report building.
Anyone else?
But like, I mean, with report building, like, hey, I can see you, can you see me, and so on. So
That is your report building.
no, but like, you understand what I mean. But
Nope.
isn't that right with setting expectations in the pre-frame? So like how this call is gonna go is I'm gonna ask you some questions to see if you're a good fit, and if that's the case, I can walk you through a system and show you exactly what you do. So like something like that.
I would not necessarily call it like this. So you're going into the right direction, but it is not necessarily setting the right expectations. Persian Harry?
Yeah, I would just say like also what the call will be about. Maybe like say that, yeah, so the first part of the conversation is to find out where you are in your business and how the gap looks like, where you want to go. And maybe when we see at the end of the conversation that we have both the feeling that it's something you are looking for, we could possibly talk about potential next steps or something like that.
You have mixed a couple of steps with each other.
Okay.
A couple of parts you mentioned, a couple of parts that Chowder has mentioned are right. However, when it comes to pre-frame, it is actually about establishing the authority. And in the authority, you can set up the expectations of the whole call. The pre-frame is basically there in the first second to show that you're a human. But then in the second moment, it is literally about showing the authority and establishing your position. So when something goes wrong throughout the call, you will not lose the authority immediately, and then you don't become your prospect's bitch. It can be as simple as just hopping on a call and be like, hey, how are you doing? How was your day? Were you able to close any deals, or were you speaking to any clients? And then just basically saying something in terms of, So Chowder, how this call typically goes is I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, see where you are, where you want to go. And then if I have a feeling that it aligns with our vision and that we are a potential good fit for each other, I'm more than happy to just walk you through the whole system. Does that sound fair enough? So when you say this with enough confidence, when you say this with not moving much, like literally set your frame correctly, then you're going to be able to establish authority in a couple of seconds of the call. So that will be the pre-frame. Then discovery part. I think it's self-explanatory, but is anyone here that want to take a guess what the discovery part is? Version Harry?
Yes, I would guess we also have the questions and the notion to all first thing find out more about their business. And also I think you can in some way also like ask specific things and so to like passively I would say handle objections, but mostly to learn about the business and get their
Any other
situation.
guesses? Chicken Little.
Yeah, also to verify if they have the money for a thing like for the service you provide, basically.
You're both going into the right direction. So when it comes to the discovery part, it's basically about establishing, first of all, if the person is intellectual or emotional buyer, then assessing prospect situation. So you can find out where his business at, what is he doing. And then one of the most important part of the discovery part is also just looking if the person's not lying to you when it comes to the numbers, for example. So that's why it is also very important that you are actively listening. So that's also why I will not recommend having a sales script due to the fact that a sales script is going to prevent you from actively listening on the sales call so to what your prospect is actually telling you. So if you're going to miss, for example, one sentence or one voice crack, there is a chance you're going to miss something that you could have utilized in, for example, handling the final objections or in pre-handling the objections before you go into the pitch. However, most of the time, discovery part is simply just assessing your prospect situation, then gathering the pain points that you can utilize against him, then something in the direction of what Persian Harry has said, namely just technically speaking, pre-handle someone's objections, because you can either do this by asking certain questions, or you can simply answer certain questions before they will occur in, for example, the presentation or after the presentation. And then it's just basically transitioning into the pitch. Pitch is the presentation, I think very self-explanatory, but does anyone know what one of the most important parts of the presentation is? Is anyone here that want to take a guess? Funny thing is I see it, Chowder, but I was just waiting till you learn how to, raise your hand.
No,
Yes.
it's going automatically if I. So I would say like, don't just presentate, also like communicate with the prospect in the meantime. So like asking him if that sounds fair or if he understands and so on. So you just not talk like if you are talking to yourself, but also like communicating with the prospect.
By the way, the word you used at the beginning of your sentence, I don't think it exists. Just say.
Which word do you mean?
I think you wanted to say present.
Yeah,
But you said
present from German.
presented. You said presented or something like that. That you have mixed the German and the
Yeah,
English word.
yeah.
That doesn't
Yeah,
exist. By the way, Diesel, yes, you were right. Okay. By the way, Chowder, in that case, I will also recommend, instead of just asking questions like, have you understood everything? I will just try to put double open-ended questions. If you don't know what it is, without me going too deeply into details, it's basically a question that you are not necessarily able to answer with yes or no, but you actually need to say more. So as an example will be, if a prospect is telling you in the discovery part, that he's struggling with, let's say, qualification of the leads or quality of leads, then you can simply ask him something like, so seeing how we focus on pre-vetting those leads, can you compare this, or do you see a difference in the quality when it comes to how you currently qualify your leads? Or do you think this method will be able to qualify your leads in a different manner? Something in this direction. There is also a video about this in the course, so you can look at it. And if you're gonna have more questions, you can obviously bring it to me. So Miles,
So you can redirect every part of the presentation to the expected outcome.
Technically speaking, yes. But that's why it is very, very important that the discovery part is well done, due to the fact that in the discovery part, you can pre-handle a lot of objections that will come after the presentation. And in the discovery part, very often you can, as I said, gather the pain points that you can then utilize in the presentation to, for example, let's say if someone is struggling with a steady influx of clients or patients, depending on your guys' niche, then you can also mention this in the presentation. For example, as an example, it will be something in the direction of, by looking at the whole process that I just walk you through, do you think that this will be able to, or do you see how this will be able to help you get the steady influx of new clients on a monthly basis? By the way, does anyone know how long a discovery part should take approximately?
15 minutes.
Okay, any other guesses?
You said like 10 to 15 minutes, I think.
Okay, 3 people: Miles, Chowder, Diesel, Persian, Nika, Chicken.
I guess 10 to 15 also.
Yeah, Diesel, I know that you have said already. Okay, 15 minutes approximately. So like you should not go over 15 minutes, especially due to the fact that Nika, it's approximately 15 minutes, especially due to the fact that you set up your call in a manner where it should be 15 minutes for the prospect. It seems on his calendar as if it will be 15 minutes, but it blocks out an hour of his time. So you need to be done with a discovery in 15 minutes so you can transition into the pitch, so the call seems valuable to the person, because otherwise there is a chance you're gonna make him mad with the fact that you still have not showed him anything and it has been over 15 minutes and you promised him 15 minutes of the call. Chicken Little?
Should we say at the beginning of the call then, like, to set the expectations of how long the call will be, also to see if they have time,
No.
like they don't have just 15 minutes and then
No.
and what if they have just 15 minutes and then at the end?
No. You need to understand, most of those people, they use Google Calendar on daily basis.
Yeah, I
And
understand that.
And as long as you confirm the meeting on the cold call, they will not be able to, like, it's gonna block out an hour in their calendar anyway, so they're not gonna be able to schedule anything on top of it. That's one thing. And the second thing is, if someone is gonna see a value in the call, they will not leave after 15 minutes. Like, throughout my whole career, I think I only had 2 people that actually needed to go after 15 minutes. And I was still able to just reschedule the call with them on the meeting. So that is also the only time where you can do a 2-call close. Otherwise, don't let anyone go, especially not if you have told them the pricing. All right. Clarifying and answering questions. I think that's also explanatory. But does anyone know what I mean by this? Or what this stage of a call is? Or why it's so important? Chowder.
It's very important because if the prospect still has questions and it's still not clear to him, and you ask him for the sell, it's not gonna happen because a confused buyer will not buy.
And there's also one extremely important aspect.
To set the
Yeah, and
expectations.
to ask him if he thinks that this process could work for him.
No.
Show them how this process is gonna bring them results.
No. Any more guesses? Miles, you're either confused or mad, so you can take a guess.
So I would say here, before showing the price, you have to make sure that they don't have any question because they can use that as okay, they can hide behind that when they
Yes, and how do you call this? You're going to the right direction. How do you
I
call
don't
this?
really know I don't know the names that you want to give to it.
Do you mean like a commitment? So smoke screens, so they don't
Oh.
have smoke screens anymore?
Yes, wonderful. A smoke screen, yes. So this allows you to prevent smoke screens from happening due to the fact that otherwise they can just, with a dumb question, they can put it as a smoke screen. I assume everyone knows what a smoke screen is. Is anyone here that does not know what a smoke screen is?
Can you explain it? I'm not sure.
Yes. So a smoke screen, the easiest way. Yes, it's a stage where you show active listening. It's like yes. So most of the time, yes. So Diesel has brought I would say a good example. The last thing you want to have is when you ask someone for the sale and as an objections you get, I need to think about it or I can't afford it right now. If you get one of those objections, there is a chance you have fucked up something throughout the call due to the fact that either you have not double checked the numbers of someone and that's why they are able to tell you, I can't afford it right now.
Mm.
Or you have probably not established the knowledge that the person you're speaking to is the key decision maker. Or I need to think about it makes basically no sense. Because if you have explained everything from A to Z, the person has also seen the numbers. Why will not make sense? These are smoke screens, so these are not true or not real objections. Does that make sense? It's basically just going deeper into the question till you're gonna see that they bite themselves in the knee. So, as an example, if someone tells you, "I need to think about it." Okay, wonderful. What is there to think about? Because most of the time, if someone says, "I need to think about it," it's because they are missing key information, and the only source that you currently have when it comes to this whole process is me. So why would you end the call and want to think about it alone when we can just discuss it here? And if you have any concerns, any questions, I'm here to answer them. Does that make sense, Mattia?
Yeah.
Wonderful. I would say that's very self-explanatory, unless someone has anything to add to it. No. Wonderful. I have a wonderful idea. What about we do a role play about pre-framing? Chowder. Yeah, Miles, what's up?
I wanted to start.
Wonderful. Chowder, Miles, I don't care who puts the pre-frame in, One can be the prospect, one can be the seller, and then change the places. I don't care who starts.
Okay, Chowder start. The prospect.
Chowder, you're muted.
Hello, Miles. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Great. How are you, Miles?
Doing good, and you?
Also very good. Have you closed any deals today?
Yeah, doing good, doing good. We closed like 2 deals today.
Awesome. So, Miles, how this call is gonna go is I'm gonna ask you some questions first to see if we are a good fit for each other. And if that's the case, I can walk you through our system and show you exactly what we do. Is that fair for you?
Yeah, sounds fair, sounds fair.
Awesome.
There's no emotions in there. Have you closed any deals? Yeah, we closed two. Nice. So what this call goes is I'll ask you a couple of questions. And if it aligns with the way I work, then we can maybe make it work. Are you stalking him or something? Like, Chowder, use some emotions. Please try again. Look, imagine Miles is a chocolate bar. As a Chowder, you should, feel
No, man.
some emotions toward it. Yeah, come on.
Hey, Miles, how are you?
Doing good, and you?
I'm great, man. I had a very good day. How was your day, man?
Oof, just working.
And have you closed any deals today?
Yeah, up to two, so it was good.
What do you say? 2 deals?
Yeah, 2 deals, 2 deals.
Great, man. Great. So, Miles, how this
By
call
the
is
way,
gonna go?
stop. You don't want to compliment your prospect in the first second of the call. Like, just don't
Okay.
acknowledge it, or even if you if you want to be a cunt, you can even act surprised, but like in a negative manner when he says 2 deals. So like he says 2 deals, so you can like, oh, 2 deals? Okay. Yeah, so how this call typically goes is, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, like something in this direction. But that's only if you want to be a cunt. Nika, why not? Because you don't want them to necessarily like you. Because the last thing you want to do is them not being completely honest with you, or them just going through the whole call with you because they just want to be nice. So you're not there to befriend them. You're there to show your competence and to sell them. Does that answer your question? So Chowder, please try again.
From the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Miles, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Great. Miles, how are you? How was your day?
My day was busy. I was busy. That's all I can say.
And have you closed any deals today?
Yeah, up to 2 deals.
Okay. So, Miles, how this call is gonna go is I'm gonna ask you some questions to see if we are a good fit for each other. And if that's the case, I can walk you through a system and also show you exactly what we do, okay?
Yeah, could you not just show me the system then?
Look, Miles, I know that you probably want to get out of this meeting as fast as possible, but for me to even show you a system, I need to see if we are a good fit for each other and if the system also would work for you. Because why should I put a cart in front of a horse if I don't know if this is gonna work for you, you know?
Okay, okay.
I'm pretty sure you said cart before horses because like one horse is not capable of, you know, pushing it. But absolutely fine. It goes into the right direction, but Miles has not said anything for you not to know if he's an emotional or intellectual buyer, and you have over-explained something you could just answer in a matter of one sentence. Like you have basically brought 3 different sentences that answers the same question.
Okay.
So I will just try to keep it shorter. Because like otherwise you also waste your own time. Okay, Miles, please try the same thing on Chowder.
Hey, Chodo, how are you doing today?
Good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Have you closed any deal today?
Nope.
How was the work? Excuse me?
Nope.
No deal? Oh. Okay, so how these calls typically go? I'll ask you a couple of questions to know where you are right now and where you want to go. I want to know exactly what you're currently doing.
Mom, can you get out of the room? Thanks. Sorry.
Okay, let's start back. Hey, Chowder, how are you doing today?
No, like, Miles, he tried to be a account prospect.
Was
That-
part of it.
That was a part of him being a prospect.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't understand. So we should start back, right?
You just restart the thing again.
Hey, Chowder, how are you doing today?
Good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Have you closed any deal today?
Yes.
Okay, good. So how these calls typically go? I'll ask you a couple of questions to know where you are right now. I want to know exactly what you are implementing. Are you with me?
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I want to know what you are exactly implementing for me to see if you are a good fit for each other. And then if I feel we align, I'll be great. I'll be happy to break down our system for you. Does it sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the one thing that you want to take out from this call today, Chowder?
More money.
More money. But don't you make enough today? No, like right now?
It's a retarded question.
Excuse me?
That's a retarded question. This is not a question you want to ask.
Everyone wants to make more money.
You mean which question?
You
The
asked
last one?
have you not made enough money today or yet? Like
No.
that's
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah.
that's not a
that's
question you want to ask.
Mm-hmm.
So please try again. Because see the prospect that Chowder tries to be is a killer. If you don't know what I'm referring to, is there's one of the laws basically called killing the killers. A killer is a cunt. It's basically a prospect that either doesn't respect you or thinks he's better. And he very often they may be also very aggressive or just they give you a feeling of that they don't listen to you. So you want to humble them very quickly. And if you're gonna ask a retarded questions, this doesn't put you like this doesn't put you in the right in the right spot.
Of course.
Chicken Little, what is the question?
Like how do you approach a person like that? You said to humble them, but
You
I
need
don't
to
know.
see if they like try to be cunt throughout the whole call, or if it only happened like for example at the beginning of the call.
So
But if they're gonna do the same thing throughout the whole call, then you should just simply adjust like you should just highlight it and be like, chicken, look, from my understanding, we are both on this call because we want something from it. So I don't want to waste any of my time. So unless you're not gonna take this seriously, we can just end it right here. Because look, I'm a big fan of the fact that you're here to make money, so am I. But if you're gonna not respect me, or if you're not gonna show the respect that I surely should get from you, then we can just end it right here because there are plenty of fishes in the sea. I have 10 more appointments today. So are we clear on this side, or are you still gonna try to? I don't know what the fuck you're trying to do in this call. Are you gonna take it seriously? Wonderful. Obviously, it depends also on the person. So with some people, you can be more aggressive. With some people, I will recommend you just using different words. Because the last thing you want to do is just, make him even more aggressive. But this is typically how you can just calm someone down.
But in
Yeah, I agree.
but in general, shouldn't you always agree with what
There is
the
in hurry. There is a wonderful politic in this room. You raise your hand when you have a question, especially because you don't have a fucking camera on, so I don't know who's speaking for a moment.
Sorry.
What is your question, or what do you want to add to it?
Yes, my question was that shouldn't you always agree first with what the prospect says? Like, yeah, I totally agree with you, but, and then,
No, literally the way you have just formulated this is the worst way you can formulate this, because by agreeing and then saying but, you basically are like, but is the worst word you can ever use, because if you agree with someone, that's bad, but then you say but, and it basically dissolves everything that has been said before.
okay,
So when you say,
but the point that you should always agree, isn't that one right?
no, why would you always agree with someone?
I thought that was a rule that you should always and not never disagree like with the prospect in general. I
So the
learned
prospect is gonna tell you is making 500,000 per, let's say per month, and then in the math you're gonna find out it's only 100,000. Are you not gonna say anything to him because you're just gonna agree like a bitch?
no, not agree, but if he says, yeah, make 500,000, I would say, yeah, okay, interesting, but no, I just have a question to clarify. Like, that was my math I did. Do you agree with me, or is there anything else you would like to tell me so I can, I am
No,
same level as you?
not necessary, because you don't want to become their friend.
No?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a little bit new to me because all the time I thought that it's like great to have just a nice conversation, like as a friend to friend, for example. And if he likes you, it's much easier to close. And I can hardly imagine that you
No.
close with someone that hates you.
No, it's not necessarily also about hate. It is just about the competence. Like, it has nothing to do with kissing his ass in order to get the deal closed. Especially because the last thing you want to have is someone just being nice to you, and that's the only reason why they stay on the call with you. So don't pretend to be their friend, and don't see it as, oh yeah, the main goal of this call is to befriend the person so he can maybe buy from me. Especially
But
because if you're gonna try to be their friend, you won't be able to do, for example, buy or die at the end of the call.
yeah,
Do you understand it?
yes. And can you also establish easily trust without like being nice? So can I just be rude to them and then still get the trust?
Yes. Because it is not about liking someone, it is about business, it is about competence.
Okay.
If someone will call you constantly a dumb cunt, but you will know he will make you 100,000 in a month, would you still be willing to do business with him?
I would have to think about it, but maybe, yeah.
Really? Maybe?
Well, you said guaranteed he will make me the money.
Yes.
If it's through a good way, then yeah, probably yes.
Yes, I'm not talking about trafficking, I'm not talking about drugs, like proper money.
Yeah, okay, then yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
that's great. Like you told me right, if I'm 100%ly convinced, but you first have to get them 100% convinced.
yes, but it doesn't, it has nothing to do with them liking you.
Okay.
They can like the amount of money you're gonna make them. Chicken Little.
So just so I can see if I understand this correctly, it's not about being rude to someone, but it's about like mirroring them. If they are rude to you, of course, you're gonna react to it,
Yes,
but you don't want to be rude for no reason.
yes. Because otherwise you're gonna make someone rude, and that's not the
Yeah.
point. Nika, it is not as much about dominance, it is just about the authority. Because the last thing you want to do is be someone's bitch in the call. Persian Harry?
Yeah, so now I'm a little bit confused when you said that if he is not rude, he should also not be rude, because I thought, and I also learned in this lessons, that if they like say they're not interested or something, you should go into the direction of telling them, yeah, then so you probably don't want to make as much money and have good luck going through there alone and stuff. And
Oh,
isn't
no,
that
no, no, no. That was on a cold call.
cold call?
That's a completely different thing. And that was only for the pure enjoyment due to the fact that I know that the person I told it to, namely Miles, he's doing very high numbers of cold calling. So at some point he's getting burned out because of the amount, like because of some people. So in order to help him break through the fear that he has, because in his case, due to the fear, his accent comes out. And in order to prevent this from happening, he needs to feel more comfortable to be able to tell two people, go fuck yourself. So that was also only in this specific scenario, it was also only on cold calling. It had nothing to do with sales call. Here we are talking about sales call.
Okay. But in the negative, if you build negative report, don't you
Yes.
have to be to some extent rude, like automatically?
No, you're just stating the obvious. I don't
Okay.
need to be rude to tell someone that his parents don't love him, if that's a fact.
If
Or
that's
I
a
don't
fact.
need to be rude to tell someone that he's failing at his business because I just double check the numbers. If you're seeing this as rude, then it's on your, like, that's your fault. I'm just stating the obvious. I'm just double checking the numbers. And as a matter of fact, if you still think about the friendship aspect, or you said at the beginning that you were thinking it is about becoming someone's friend. If you have true friends, are those gonna tell you when you're fucking up in life? Or are they gonna tell you, oh no, you're making everything right. You're making everything right.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I thought to be friends, because friends like tell this truth, and that's also the reason that was also matching the thing you're saying now, because you tell me you have to like tell them the truth and tell the numbers and facts, and that's also what a friend does, like is totally honest and transparent with them. So should I now be a friend or not? I don't know.
You have a wrong understanding of being a friend because in your mind, it also means about being friendly and about being someone who kisses their ass. You're not complimenting the person. You're stating the obvious and you're pinning down the pain points that they have for their own goods. Yes. So this is something you can call being a friend. But if your mind being a friend is complimenting them, agreeing with them, this is not something that a friend does.
Okay.
If I will have a friend that agrees with everything I do, I will tell him very comfortably to go fuck yourself. Because the last thing I need is someone who's just gonna go behind me and says, yes, yes, that's very good. Yes, yes, that's very good. Even though he either doesn't agree or it does not make sense.
Yeah.
Because this will be a people pleaser. That's not a friend. And when you brought this point at the beginning of your question, you were thinking more about a people pleaser. You were not thinking about a friend as, for example, not we came to the realization what a friend can be in a sales call.
Yeah, okay.
Do you understand the right perspective on it now?
Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. So Miles has disappeared. What's up, Chicken Little?
No, there was a fly or something to flying around my camera.
Persian Harry, can you do pre-framing with Chicken Little? I don't care who starts.
Okay, give me a second. Should I
You can
use
start.
should I use
By the
a
way,
glass?
why is your camera off?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like dark at the beginning and not a real reason. So I was just moving from there to there, and
Chicken Little is
Just
literally
make
in the
it on.
dark. Chicken Little is literally in the dark. The only thing you can see is, I don't know if that's a window or if it's
so
a
now it's
painting.
not dark. Now it's not dark for me, but I was
It's a
moving.
window.
I was moving here around.
Why are you moving around?
No, I just changed my chair.
Okay, please turn your camera on. Everyone, please turn your camera on. Nika, you don't need to, you're a lady.
Or what's going on with Charlie?
Why are you looking at a different man? Please turn your camera on and please do the role play of a pre-framing with Chicken Little.
Okay, so should I ask my German questions in English, right? Or
What?
should I
I said fucking pre-frame, not discovery.
pre-frame? Okay, okay.
We have. Were you not fucking listening through the last 50 minutes?
I was listening. I was okay, okay. So should I begin? Yeah, okay.
You should turn your camera on.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, okay, great.
Oh yeah, very fucking dark. What the fuck have you been doing the last
Oh.
50 minutes?
No, no.
Jerking off.
No, I changed stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-frame, role play, you, Chicken Little.
Okay. Should I really call him Chicken Little?
I don't give a fuck how you call him. You can call him fucking James.
What? Well, I want to know his real name. Whatever.
Just go on.
Okay, okay. Hey man, can you hear me? Can you see me well? Or he's mute.
Chicken Little, you're muted.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great, man, great, great. Yeah, so it looks like you booked this meeting here in our calendar, and to possibly get help with getting more jobs and possibly also more employees and to generally increase the revenue of your company. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. You called me about that, and I came here to see like, what you offer, find out
Perfect.
more about it.
Perfect. So you're saying you come here to find more about it. When we were talking on the phone, what exactly was it that brought you now to, at the end now, book this appointment?
You said you can get me more leads, and you said you have over 90% occupancy rate with your clients, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay,
Okay.
stop here. You have used so many words for something, yes, for something that you could just say in, hi, how are you doing? Look, I know you have been cold called. However, throughout the whole cold call, we have mentioned to you that we can help you with either more employees or more clients on a monthly basis. So from all of those topics, what brought you to the call today? Like, what was the concrete reason why you came to the call? That will save you like 2 minutes. Like you have used so many words and something you can just, squeeze together and it will have the same outcome.
Mhm.
By the way, you sound very friendly. Like too friendly.
Yeah, like I thought I had to do it this way, so now I have to change my whole framing. Yeah.
Especially because German people are not really the friendliest people. Like every time when I do business with Germans or people from Switzerland or Austria or Australia, they don't really they are not friendly people.
So you
Australia?
Australia is the how the
Austria.
fuck do Austria?
Austria.
Okay, so you're also like you're also a little bit not that kind with them, like a little bit rude, right? With them, you
Yes. They were once dominators of the, of the world. Now they are not.
I wouldn't say rude, but direct.
Oh, you ask me rude. No, no, no. It is not about being rude. It is about being direct.
Mhm.
Especially because like German people are like they don't like to go all around something. German people are very strict and direct to the point.
Yeah, that's true. 50% of my cold calls at the beginning just tell me, yeah, bro, just tell me the price and I tell you if I'm interested. Let us save the time. But yeah, all the time I
They
somehow
bro you?
Hmm?
They bro you?
No.
Yeah, that's not good. If someone calls you a body or a bro, that's not a good sign.
No,
And
no, I don't.
if someone does this throughout the sales call, you fucked up. This
No,
is where
they
no no
never
no.
brought me. I got never brought by it was just I was just trying to explain here.
I know.
Of course, of course. So please try again.
Okay, okay. Okay. Hey, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so it looks like that you booked this call in our calendar where we were talking about helping you getting more revenue with the company by getting you more jobs and also employees. What about the things we were talking about specifically got your interest and made you at the end book this call?
Yeah, so I hired a few more employees last month, so I'm open for more jobs, and that's what I'm interested in, more leads.
Yeah, great, awesome. So to what we are going to do right in this call. So the first part of the conversation is more to like figure out where you're standing right now with the company and what your actual strategies are, and in comparison to that, what you're trying to achieve and how the gap looks like where you want to go. And at the end, if we both see that you have the same, no, I'm sorry, and at the end, if it is something that you are looking for, we could possibly talk about the next step. Would that help you?
Would that help me?
Yes.
I mean, so basically what you said is we're gonna set my expectations and see what my goals are.
No, no.
And
I was talking like
I don't know how
I
would
was
help
No, we're
me.
talking like we will find out what your strategies are at the moment, and in
Okay,
comparison,
stop. You fucked up by asking a question. Will this help you? Because you have assumed he has a problem without establishing that he has a problem. And if this would be an intellectual buyer, he will immediately tell you to go fuck yourself.
yeah, okay.
Beginning was fine, especially because you have adjusted the beginning and you have also, I hope, noticed that with that you have already established what's important for from his side, like why is he actually on the call and potentially what his problem may be. So he has hired more people, he doesn't have enough jobs to give it to those people.
Mhm.
So if that's a crucial information that you can then utilize and base your questions on. And if you will not actively listen, if you will have a script, you will probably miss this crucial information. Nika, by the way, do you want to try?
Fuck up badly, but yeah, sure.
Wonderful. Nika, please try with Chowder. What are you opening right now? Please don't tell me it's a script.
Kinda to suck less, I hope.
It's only pre-frame. It is nothing about discovery questions. It is only pre-frame. Do you remember what pre-frame is?
It was the beginning of the How's it called again?
The sales call.
The sales call, yeah.
Do you remember how to do pre-frame?
Not sure.
Okay. Chowder, you start, and after that Nika goes, yeah?
Okay. Hey Nika, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you clearly.
Awesome. How was your day, Nika?
It's going good. How's yours?
Also good. Have you closed any deals today?
No.
Okay. So, Nika, how this call is gonna go is I'm gonna ask you some questions to see if you're a good fit for each other. And if that's the case, I can walk you through our system and then show you exactly what we do. Is that fine for you?
Yeah.
By the way, stop fucking. Why is everyone here copying each other? I don't know who of you started saying, "Can you see me? Can you hear me?" That's the most retarded fucking question you can start your call with. Like, no, like it shows incompetence. How many meetings do you have on daily basis? Let's say 10. Are you asking every single fucking person on the meeting, "Can you see me? Can you hear me?" Like, do you
Yeah,
understand how incompetent that is?
Yeah.
but it's really often there are some technical problems on their side, so sometimes they have to rejoin or yeah. So not for me, I always have everything in place, but from their side.
No, please just don't. That's the
Okay.
most retarded question you can ask. You can ask this after one or two questions, yes.
After two questions, for just ask
Yes,
if they.
but please don't start your call with that.
Okay, so just
So like, oh sorry.
no, I just wanted to say that you should just talk the half the pre-frame and then only ask if they could hear you.
No, they obviously they can hear
No,
you,
like
but then you can say like,
by then you should be able to, establish if they see you and if they hear you. And if you are not sure, you can ask.
so
Yeah,
like, just to clarify, can you see me clearly? Like that?
yeah, but doesn't that sound like it's something
No,
wrong?
no, like by then you should be able to notice, even when they turn their camera on, that they, for example, don't look at the screen. And in that case, you can say, by the way, just to clarify, because I've noticed you're not looking directly to the screen, I guess. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is everything all right? But then besides that, there's literally no reason for you to ask that. Like if you are taking 10 calls a day, which I want you guys to think about this, like you're actually taking the 10 sales calls a day, then you should not have any difficulties on opening a Zoom, turning your camera, and turning your microphone. Okay. Nika, do you know now what to say?
Yeah, a little bit.
Wonderful. Please try it on Chowder.
Hey, Chowder, right?
Yeah,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. What about you?
I'm doing great. How's the company doing? I see you have a lovely company.
No, Nika, no. Don't compliment him nor his company.
Oh yeah, sorry.
He's they are there with a problem, or he's there to make more money. If you're gonna compliment his company, it seems like he doesn't need you.
Okay.
Please try again. As a matter of fact, Nika, speak to him as to one of the chefs in the kitchen.
Oh dang.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Chowder, right?
What do you say?
Your name is Chowder, right?
Yes, it is.
How was your day?
It was decent, yeah. How was your day?
Had a good day? Great. Had a good day with the company?
It was decent, I would say so, yeah.
So, I looked into your company and I believe you can achieve more. So if you would be interested, we can talk about. No, I'm
Okay,
fucking
Nika,
up again.
Nika. Why the
Yeah.
fuck do you have a sales script in front of you? Please close the window.
What?
You either have memorized sales script or you have a sales script in front of you that you're reading.
No, I'm not reading anything.
Wonderful. Then please erase it from your memory. This is the most retarded opening I have ever heard. Not
Told
only
you
you
I
have
would fuck up.
not only you have complimented his company, but also you already told him he has a problem without establishing if there is any problem. And as a matter of fact, there is a chance, due to the fact that you're a woman and he's a man, you could offend him by saying, I think you can do more with your company. Because very often men, when it comes to entrepreneurship, they start a company because of a trauma. So at some point, it's like a dick measurement custom. Like it's like a competition for them. Who has a better company?
Yeah.
So there is a chance you will offend him, and then Chowder will feel offended. Yeah, Chowder is probably one of those guys. So please try again.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. How about you?
I'm doing great. How are the sales going?
We had a pretty busy day today. We closed like 2 to 3 deals. Yeah, good money.
Nika?
Yeah, I'm lagging out. Sorry.
There is a progress. You stopped asking him if his name is a Chowder. Due to the fact that before you jumped on the call, you should have seen this in your notification. You should have seen this on Zoom, and you should have seen this in your Calendly. So there will be literally no reason for asking him if his name is Chowder. But there is progress. It's absolutely fine. So, then once again, before we end this today, what is a preframe? And why is preframe important? Does anyone know? Chicken Little?
You said the authority for the call
Okay,
and the expectations.
And? Harry?
And you also identify what the motivation of them was to jump on the call and what they're looking for.
Yes. And why? Why is that specifically?
To better be able to help them and at the end know what the reason was, and so you can specify your offer to the problem they have and what they want.
Yes and no. It is just more about establishing the current situation and pre-assuming what their problem may be, because then based on that, you can base your question. Chowder!
Yeah, everything was answered, I think. I have nothing to add.
I like how you said that, and you scared Chicken Little. He put his down immediately down. Okay, wonderful. In that case, everyone, I see you tomorrow. Harry, stay a moment because I need to look at something you have fucked up probably.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.